Now, there is a lot of things that I really like about Star Citizen, but there's also a number of things that I'm not so fond of. And that's what I want to talk about today. Today I want to give you 5 things that I hate about Star Citizen. And I should say that I've already made a video where I talk about 5 things that I love about the game, and I highly recommend if you haven't watched that video, go watch that first, and then come back to this one after. Are you also struggling to find the perfect gift for family, friends, or loved one? Then check out today's sponsor, Under Lucky Stars. Create your own custom star map showing the night sky at any place or any time. It's the perfect gift ideas for anniversaries, weddings, baby showers, or any other special life event. In fact, my wife and I brought one for a wedding a few years back that's now hanging over our bed. And if you go to the link starmap.d2ea.com, you will get 10% off your order. Okay, we're gonna start this countdown in no particular order with probably the biggest mood killer there is in Star Citizen, which is wipes, bugs, and instability. Anybody who spent any amount of time in the game will know that Star Citizen has its good days and it has not so good days, where the game can be unstable to pretty much almost unplayable, whether it's due to poor servers, whether it's due to a large number of bugs making maybe your favorite game loop unplayable for a longer period. And then of course there's the wipes that I understand is necessary for where the game is now, so I know that we have to live with them, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, but every time a wipe is announced, I can just feel my will to go in and play the game kind of disappear, because all the effort I put into gaining rank, making money, buying ships, those kind of things, is gonna disappear. I'm the type of person that really likes to go in and really like play around with game mechanics, and if they have a change with that game mechanics coming up in a recently announced patch, there's not much point in going in at the beginning like dissecting and spending hours dissecting a game mechanic if I know they might change it in an upcoming patch. It's not like CIG is like posting patch notes weeks in advance before they launch, so sometimes we can get kind of some curveballs from CIG when it comes to updates. Okay, next on my list I have the NPCs. I actually think it's one of the things in Star Citizen that has a net negative impact on the game. NPCs should be there when they're working, but right now, more time than not, they're broken. They will be just standing still in rows, if you're lucky. They might be standing on chairs, on tables, and all other weird places. I get again why they're there, I get why they need to be there at some point, but right now, they don't add anything to the game. I actually think they subtract something from the game by breaking that otherwise very, very well-built environment that CIG has built with Star Citizen. Sure, it would feel empty if the NPCs weren't there, but the other problem with them is, if you ever try to been to an expo hall where there's a lot of NPCs in there, the frame rate is terrible. So there's no doubt about that these NPCs has a major impact on the game's performance. And I assume, since they're all gonna have to be managed by the server, that the server is also gonna spend a number of resources on maintaining all these NPCs. So for now, I wouldn't actually mind seeing if CIG just disabled all of them. Maybe not some of the shopkeepers, so we can still go and go into shops if we need to talk to them there. But other than that, disable them. Put them back when they're working. Okay, the next one is not so much the game and more a CIG thing. And that is CIG's very, how should I put this? CIG is very time optimistic. They have a tendency to have roadmaps update quite frequently, should we put it that way? AKA, things get delayed, and things can get delayed a lot. One thing is that features can get delayed, fair enough, but also just the entire game. It's been quite a while. And the reason why I ended up putting this in the list is because it's when CIG announced something and you're like, ooh, that sounds super, super awesome. I'm really looking forward to this, because when it's there, it will likely be pretty good. But you also know that it could be years before we see something like that. For instance, when they announce new ships, if they're larger ships, if they're just in a gray box phase, we know it could be years, and you were just imagining what the things will do to the game when they come out, but we also know that it could be years. It's been the same, there's been this talk about like Pyro is just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner. And we're still waiting for Pyro. So these constant things getting pushed and delayed kind of gets a little old. Another like more game design thing that I'm not a big fan of is the way the CRG has made this quantum travel. I know it's not faster than light travel, but the way they've made quantum where you're jumping from beacon to beacon, I actually would like if you were able to quantum more freely. So we could control our ships, turn it, and stuff like that. I really like the approach that Frontier took in Elite with their faster than light travel. That kind of makes more sense to me, and I think it would also add a lot to the like exploration side of the game, being able to more easily move around planets and get to spots that are not necessarily close by to a quantum marker. You probably also tried this a number of times. You get a mission, the mission marker is like 200 kilometers from the nearest quantum marker, and for some reason the mission doesn't have its own quantum marker, so you jump there and now you have to fly 200 kilometers with your normal engines, which is gonna take, let's say, 5 minutes. And it's just not great gameplay, just flying in a straight line for 5 minutes, then you spend 30 seconds killing an NPC, and then the mission is over. So I would really like to see if we could get more like free fly around quantum travel. I think that would add a lot to the game. Now, the final thing on my list is the whole financing model around Star Citizen. There are things about it that I'm okay and that I think is fine, might even see like. There's definitely also a lot of things about the way that they're financing the game that I don't like. So it started out with a Kickstarter, fine. After that, they are selling game packs for, was it 40 or 45, or how much they're charging right now? To me, fine. Okay, that's okay. I mean, if we go to Steam and see what they're charging for big games these days, that seems like a fair price. Okay, I can live with that. I will even say that the optional subscription service is fine too, because it is optional. It's something you can choose to go and do, and you get some extra stuff that might have value to some people, and not to others. What I don't like about the financing of Star Citizen is the price on some of the ships, or most of the ships, to be honest. There are very few ships in the pledge store that I think has a fair price for what you get. I get what CRG is trying to do. I know that they are trying to actually prevent people from buying too many ships, because they don't want a situation where when the game comes out, everybody just has all the ships because they've been selling them cheaply. So they want to keep the volume of ships low, but that also means that they need a high price per ship. So I get what they're doing. I just think it's sometimes it sends a greedy vibe, if you ask me. That you look and say, okay, I can get one spaceship for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and that might not even be a big spaceship. It might even be a medium-sized ship. It sends a greedy vibe, and I think that also has contributed a lot to some of the negativity we see around Star Citizen. The fact that these ships are so heavily priced. While, again, as I said, I understand why CRG is doing it, I just don't necessarily agree with their way that they've decided to price their ships. But now it's your turn. Comment section below, what is your most and least favorite part about Star Citizen? Post it below. And again, if you haven't watched that, 5 things that I love about Star Citizen, go watch that, because there's some cool stuff in there too. And if you want more Star Citizen content, subscribe. That is for free. Thanks a lot for watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys in space.